Exactly. I don't think it has any impact whatsoever on how well on the kids themselves, whether the coaches are distracted and didn't get the game plan in correctly. I don't know if I buy that either. I'd rate it a non-factor.
Okay. Good, 4-4. Let's go to Tony Miller. It's Friday. We always speak to one of the guys at the Golden Nugget. Tony Miller runs the show down there, and it's great to have him on. Follow him on Twitter at GollumLV. What's going on, Tony? How are you?
Hey, Dave. How you doing, my friend?
Good. You must be in a good mood today because you are a Cowboys fan, and that was an impressive performance last night.
You know what, Dave? I don't know if I'm more shocked than anything. It was totally unexpected last night, and they played well. The defense looked good, and it was a good result for the book, and I'm sure it was good all over town, and a good way to kick off the weekend, man. Getting your team in like down, a big upset, and winning one for the book.
Well, let me ask you this about the trade for Amari Cooper, because the reaction to that almost reminded me. I was trying to think of a trade that it reminded me. It was like when Pau Gasol got traded for Marc Gasol, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's the worst trade in the history of the NBA," and I can't believe it. And then Marc Gasol ended up being an All-Star for 10 years. What was your reaction initially, and do you think that your reaction was right?
Teddy, after it settled in, actually I thought it was okay because, they're going to get a receiver in the first round anyway. Obviously, they're going to pay a lot more money to Amari Cooper than they would have on a first-round draft pick. But, they would have been picking somewhere in the 20s in the first round and maybe hoping to get the best receiver available. And, really, what's out there right now coming out of college that's comparable to Amari Cooper? I don't think there is anybody that great. So I think it was a good pick. I mean, I think he's going to pan out. He looks good so far. As soon as they let Dak start throwing the ball a little deeper to him and, on a consistent basis, open things up a little bit more. But I think it was okay. I think it turned out good.
I was checking the contest standings in the Ultimate Football Challenge. Over 300 entries this year and a lot of good records. But, boy, I mean, what a horse race this is going to be down the stretch. Tony, I've got the leader at 57.5, and there are 11 contestants within 3.5 points. I mean, this is wide open.
I tell you what, Dave, it's going to be fun these last few weeks. It's going to be interesting because now we're down to, not so much college football, but pro football, unless you want to bet on the bowl games, which they're going to do. But it's coming down to it, man. I mean, it's all bunched up, and Paul Stone's in there, of course. He's in second. He's been leading the thing most of the time, but he fell back a half a point. And our defending two-time champ, McNuts, is in there, too, right at 8th place. So it's going to be a real battle down the wire.
How does it work as far as the bowl games are concerned? And, each guy has to put in 7 plays weekly, but how does that work with bowl games? Is it just the bowl games from that particular week?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to, if you want to get a win that week and use a bowl game that's playing this week or next week or whatever, it's got to be played that week, and that's how it's going to be all the way through December. So, it's going to be real interesting.
Check the Golden Nugget Sportsbook website on Saturday mornings, and you'll get all the picks for each contestant, and you can filter it so that you want to find out who the hot guys are playing and follow them. You'll be able to do so. Let's take a look behind the counter. And we'll mix up the colleges in the NFL. We'll throw a few colleges in as well. Utah, Washington, where we'll start off. And we're seeing some movement this afternoon on the underdog.
Yeah, Dave, we're getting a little bit of Utah money coming in as we speak. But it's been going back and forth all week. It's going to be a good game tonight, and we're sitting at 4.5, total 45 on the game, and 2 9-3 teams going at it, man. It's a pretty close battle, I think, and right now the betting's coming in both sides.
It's not the Red River Shootout if it's not the regular season game, right? It's just a Big 12 championship game. But nonetheless, it's Texas-Oklahoma. What are you guys seeing down at the Golden Nugget?
Hey, Teddy, you know what, man? It's going to be a lot of points on this game, and we're sitting at a total of 79 right now. I think we're the highest in town, and they're still betting it over with me, and we're sitting at Oklahoma -8. It's going to be a great game, and you're right. It's not the Red River Shootout, but these two guys go at it, and a lot of animosity on the field, and they'll be slapping heads, and it's going to be a good game. I'm going to enjoy that one.
And Georgia, Alabama, obviously, is going to get tons of volume, and finally, it looks like we're starting to see a little Georgia money show up, although the Alabama money early was big.
Yeah, it came in quick, and you're right, Dave. Georgia money is starting to show up. We're at 12.5 on the game, and we'll see which way it goes. Come tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Right now, it's going back and forth, but you're right. A little bit more Georgia money coming in right now.
In the Mountain West, well, I guess for news and notes and quotes and all that, Tony Sanchez keeps his job.
Yep.
Which I think he deserves to do, and I'm excited to see what he can bring.
If you paint the cannon red, you get to keep your job.
Absolutely. And it should be that way for this program. But the other big news in Mountain West is, of course, Fresno Boise playing for the 4th time since last November, just over a calendar year. We're seeing a little bit of Fresno money. Are you seeing a lot of Fresno money? What's going on?
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of support here, too, Teddy, Fresno money. And we're sitting at Boise 1 right now, but that could go down to Pick'em. Good chance right now. Total 52.5 on the game. And great game, man. Great game tomorrow afternoon.
And, well, I get the impression that people might be waiting to see what the situation is for Ohio State going into their game with Northwestern. Is this kind of a quiet game now that you're expecting more noise on later?
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the Oklahoma game, and I hope Ohio State, that game's going to mean something big. I'm sure they're still going to come out and slam the ball. We're at 14.5, total 61, but man, big game if it comes down to it tomorrow night at 5 o'clock.
Let's move on to the NFL card for Sunday, and of course, it starts in Jacksonville, where the Jaguars have been a pretty rough bet for their supporters over the course of the last 2 months, and yet. It's not like people. Indy was at 3 points at home less than a month ago. Now they're 4.5 in Jacksonville. What are you dealing?
Yeah, who would ever thought they'd be getting 4 at home against the Colts this time of year, Teddy? But it's happening, and we're sitting at the Colts 4, total 47. And hey, Andrew Luck's been playing well, that team, and he's got the offense rolling, and the Colts are in contention, and public's probably going to be on them. We're probably going to need the Jags at home.
Bucks are at home facing the suddenly, and it's all their own doing too. Carolina Panthers are slumping. They've lost 3 in a row. Is that discouraging any bettors?
No, not really. I'm still seeing some Panther money coming in. We're at 3.5, total 54.5, and I suspect they're going to back Carolina. But man, Tampa Bay's just one of those hot and cold teams. You don't know what to do with them.
It's hot and cold teams. Well, Baltimore certainly falls into that category, and right now they're hot. They've just beaten 2 patsies at home where they could run the football. Now they got to go to Atlanta. What are we seeing on Falcons and the Ravens? And how do you deal with it when a coach says, well, I'm not going to tell you who my quarterback's going to be?
Hey, man, this might be the thing for Lamar Jackson. He's got him going so far. Maybe let him loose and let the reins loose a little bit and let him unfurl in Atlanta. But tough place to win in Atlanta. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot, Matt Ryan and whatnot. And we're sitting at the Falcons 1.5, total 49 right now. And I think this game's going to go back and forth.
How about the Browns? After all those road losses in a row, and suddenly turned into road warriors, 2 in a row. They'll be hard-pressed to make it 3 in a row. They're going to Houston to face the red-hot Texans.
There you go, Dave. They have been hot. Texans have been playing well, especially at home. Deshaun Watson's got the team rolling. But, Cleveland's a whole new thing now. Baker Mayfield's got a whole new life going, and we're sitting at 6 on the Texans, total 47.5.
Miami's 3-0 start is a long way in the rearview mirror right now. As is Buffalo's 47-7 loss on opening day to Baltimore. They've certainly played better football than that as the season has progressed. Bills and the Dolphins are going to play twice in the last 5 weeks of the campaign. What are you seeing downtown?
You know what, Tay? This is one of those games where this is probably one of the least bet games on the board. We're sitting at Dolphins 4, total 40. Probably going to end up needing the Bills a little bit in this game, but not a whole lot of action on it.
This is a game that would get action even if they weren't matched up in a season where one of them is doing extremely well. Bears and Giants are going to get money. Where's it showing in this game?
Right now, it's Bears here. We're set at 3.5, total 44.5. But this is one of those games we got to be careful. Excuse me. The Giants could be spoilers here, and the Bears got a lot to look forward to. They got the Rams coming up, not to mention that big game at the end of the season last week going into Minnesota.
Denver off back-to-back upset wins. Now they're laying on the highway. A lot of market respect for the Broncos in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Denver's getting -5 right now here at the Nugget, and total 45 on the game. Not much action on it, though, but I suspect we're going to need Cincinnati come game time.
The greatest show on surf is the L.A. Rams. They will head to Detroit to face the Goofy. I called them Goofy before, and they are a goofy Lions team. Look, their best game this year was at home against the Patriots. You think maybe they got a shot to do the same thing this weekend against the Rams?
No, I don't think so, Dave. We're sitting at 10 on the Rams, plus they got a week's rest behind them. They're going to come out firing the ball down the field. Right now it's all Rams here at the Nugget, and we're going to definitely need the Lions.
The Arizona Cardinals played one of the worst games that I've seen this season last week.
And led 10-0.
I know, and on both sides of the football. Arizona was pretty rough. The market's fully cognizant of the Cardinals' struggles as they go to Lambeau Field to play the Packers, who have been every bit as bad. No, not every bit as bad.
Hey, Teddy, we're sitting at 14, total 43 on the game, and this is one of those games where Green Bay cannot afford to let anything go wrong. They got to go, and they got to go now. So I suspect they're going to be coming out firing against the Cardinals.
People like to know what the bet percentages on tickets are on various games. I am going to put the over and under on percentage of bets on the Raiders at 1. Do I win or lose?
I'm taking over.
Oh, man. We're sitting at Chiefs 14.5, total 55.5 right now. And, man, this is the game where we're definitely going to need Oakland because it's all teasers, all parlays going to the Chiefs.
The Jets and the Titans, I'm assuming, is not going to be one of your most highly wagered on games this weekend. Jets slumping, Titans slumping. What are you seeing?
Yeah, this is one of those games where you just kind of want to hope it gets over real quick. Tennessee -8, total 40.5, and we're going to need the Jets in the game.
All right, here we go. Vikings and Patriots. This is not a great schedule this week, but this is a really good game. And they'll be fired up to play this late afternoon battle.
Yeah, great game in the afternoon, and we're sitting at Pats are 5 right now, total 49.5, and big game for both teams. Pats sitting at 8-3, Vikings 6-4-1, and you know what? Both teams need this game, I think, to get it going.
49ers have had a pretty rough go of it lately, but the Seahawks haven't won many games by big margins. What are you seeing for San Fran Seattle to close out the Sunday afternoon card?
Right now we're sitting Seahawks -10, total 46. We got to have the Niners in this game. Total domination, one-sided money coming in on the Seahawks right now.
And this will be fun because I think it's going to be a good action game, probably more on the Steelers, but we'll find out. The flex game, the Sunday night battle, Chargers and Steelers, big game for both teams.
Hey, Dave, with that big Cowboy win last night, the Eagles need to win this because they got the Cowboys next week going into Dallas, so they want to stay put with the Cowboys. So I suspect we'll probably see Philly coming out running and gunning here. We're sitting at 6.5, total 45.
And you actually jumped ahead to Monday night. Let's go back to Sunday night.
Yeah.
The Chargers-Steelers matchup because that's going to
sorry, buddy.
That's all right. That's all right.
Because it's not at the bottom of the as you're going through the rotation.
Right.
You don't see it at the bottom. It messed me up, too.
Yeah, I flexed it myself. It's going to be a big volume game.
Yeah, we're sitting at Steelers 3.5, total 52 right now. And you're right, this is a big game for the Chargers, sitting at 8-3. They want to keep pace with the Chiefs. You never know what happens. And Pittsburgh, man, they're leading it. So they're back home where they play very well. So we'll see what happens.
Is that going to show in the bet count? Are the Steelers going to be the public side?
You know what? I get a lot of Charger money here downtown of the Nuggets. But the Steelers are a very public team, so I see it going both ways.
Tony, we got some auto racing stuff in town this week. We've got all kinds of big events. We've got a big heavyweight fight taking place this weekend. So lots of great reasons to get down to the Nugget to watch the game and to make sure you get that app on your phone so you can bet all this stuff.
Yeah, especially this time of year with all the different sports going on. You got to have it so convenient. Come get it.
There you go. Thank you, Tony.
All right, guys, take care.
Tony Miller, follow him on Twitter at GollumLV. Great rundown of what's happening behind the counter on the games this weekend, college and pro football. Break time and come back. The beautiful Kelly Stewart up next.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino is your spot for Sunday football. ESPN Las Vegas is on the scene from 8 to 10 a.m. inside the Superbook to start your Sunday off right. Free parking, food starts at $3, $25 buckets, and great prizes. It's Football Central each Sunday at the Westgate.
Everyone knows that even good people fall on hard times. Your credit cards get maxed out, and you get behind on your taxes. Unfortunately, the IRS is not as understanding, and they won't stop until they collect. They have the power to take your paycheck, freeze your bank accounts. Even your home or business could be at risk. It's simply not worth it to take on the IRS by yourself. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. When you call, be sure to ask about the Fresh Start Initiative. It's a special IRS tax debt assistance program that could save you thousands, even tens of thousands. Optima will immediately provide you with a team of professionals who could protect you from the IRS, ensuring that you get the best possible outcome. The Better Business Bureau has awarded them an A+ rating, and you will too. So put the hard times behind you and call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, Bob, I see you have solar and a solar battery.
Yeah, I bought both. When my solar panels produce excess electricity, it stores it in the battery. I always have electricity during storms, blackouts, and if you have medical equipment, you always have power. Also, NV Energy gives you cash incentives up to $3,000 for batteries and up to $5,000 for solar. I couldn't afford not to. And if you already have solar, you can still buy a battery. Buy from Universal Solar Direct.
Universal Solar Direct.
pay less for your electric.
Call
702-487-6900.
Nevada license 79863.
It's the holiday sales event